This trend right here is proof of why a lot of child-free people find people with children insufferable, because y'all are the thieves of all joy. Y'all are the thieves of all joy. If it does not have to do with you or your kids, you make it a problem.
I see the challenge with 24 with no kids, and hey, I'm not bitter. I'm not mad at you. I'm happy for you. But one thing about it, two things for sure. What have you accomplished besides that?
Because why was I seeing comments on my video before I blocked these people? Of people with children accusing me of being infertile, of having a lot of abortions, of not having any man want to even have kids with me in the first place.
Every time I see y'all bitches come on here, talk about y'all ain't got no kids, is that your choice or bitch you infertile? Can you even have kids, bitch?
This is a woman saying that. I've never heard a woman shame another woman for being infertile. God, dog.
With 24 with no kids, and hey, I'm not bitter. I'm not mad at you. I'm happy for you. But one thing about it, two things for sure. What have you accomplished besides that? If you still sitting on your ass, if you just working a job and you haven't gotten no fucking college degree and you not excelling yourself, you're not moving up in the world, you're not making over $40,000 a year. Okay? Well over $40,000, because $40,000 don't get you too much. All right? But it gets you just enough to start really grinding in this world.
Essentially what she's saying is like, yeah, that's good, but if you ain't doing nothing for your life, then what does it matter if you don't have kids after age 21? And that's a crazy take from a woman, from a black woman, mind you. I didn't know that women with children in the black community had this much vitriol for women who don't have kids. Maybe it's because men are on social media and being more vocal, saying that women with no children are more desirable. Could be it.
And so I'm just trying to figure out, what are you doing with your life? Huh? Don't talk about, oh, I don't get government funding. I don't get food stamps. I don't get those perks in life. That's why I'm struggling. You can still grind way harder, and you're choosing to have that as an excuse. But you dancing up and down on the internet talking about 24 with no kids, 31 with no kids. That's good. You shouldn't, unless you're married. Okay? Some of us had life circumstances that happened to us.
When men have these conversations on social media, I think this is the first time that black women have ever heard black men be so vocal about how they feel about raising another man's kids. And so if you're a young woman like her that's in that situation where nobody's ever told you that, hey, if you have, a couple buckaroos at a wedlock, you're going to be looked at as less than on the dating market. Not less than as a person. You may be a great person, but this video is not showing that. But you may be a great young woman. But on the dating market, that's where men decide, just like women decide who they decide to deal with as well. So if this is the first time that you've heard men say, I would not prefer to date a woman with children, then the first thing that you're going to do is get upset. Because it's like, what? I'm still a catch. And you may think that. But the market ultimately decides if marriage is what you want, because there's a lot of women out here that don't want marriage. So if you're looking for a guy to take care of you and your kids, you may have a tougher road, and nobody ever told you when you were younger, which is unfortunate. But now you're getting this feedback after you have the kids, and that makes you feel a certain type of way. But sometimes you need that, that truth, and that leads to you working on yourself to make you a better person or a better partner for a potential husband. And that's why I always say single mothers have to be better than women with no children, because you already have a quote unquote strike against you. Whereas the women with no children they don't have kids. So you got to be better. You got to be agreeable. You got to be in shape. You got to be kept up. And I'm not saying that single women with no kids don't have to do that, but as a single mother, you have to make it worthwhile for a man to take on that task. And I'm just not talking about the black community. I'm talking about any man. White men are the most vocal in regards to not wanting to raise another man's kids. If you don't believe me, go on the Whatever podcast. I watched a couple of their episodes. They talk about that, man. Every episode, I watched 3 episodes, and they talked about it. So yeah, white men are very vocal about this. Black men are very vocal. So don't try and separate it. Black men and white men are essentially on the same page. Maybe that's why white men and black men are the closest in regards to ever fathering children. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that only 46% of black men have ever fathered children? And on the report, it says similar to white men at, I believe, 43%. So black men and white men are right there. Okay? So I don't know, and like I said, I don't know where people get this narrative that white men and black men are just that different. No. We align on many different things.
But if you didn't have that and you just sitting on your ass and not accomplishing nothing, you don't got no reason to do this trend, baby.
Side eye. This 21 with no kids trend. Every time I see y'all bitches come on here.
She already calling them bees and everything. I did not know that they did not like this.
Talk about y'all ain't got no kids. I'll be like, and you 40, you ain't got no kids, you 30, you ain't got no kids. I'll be like, is that your choice or bitch you infertile?
Wow. This is a woman saying that. Is that your choice or are you infertile? I've never heard a woman shame another woman for being infertile. God, dog. I don't think she understands how much that hurts women who can't have children. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I said it. And for all of us with kids, we say it. Yeah. Can you even have kids, bitch? Why y'all stepping in our lane? And the other posters that annoy me is the ones be like, because they don't have no kids, they get to do this and that. Like, we can't do the same thing. Like, stay in y'all lane. Like, if you child free, it's nothing for you to talk about. Bitch, you by yourself.
Oh.
And that's okay. I said it, damn it. We tired of y'all.
I saw some footage of the 21 with no kids Jacquees challenge. But what got me the most was these negative comments that these women are making. And I hate to say this. I even heard somebody say you 21 with no kids, or 24, whatever have you a certain age with no kids, but what have you accomplished? Here I go. I'm gonna tell you what they accomplished. Everything. I was 16 when I had my first son. My son is now 33, he'll be 34 this year, and he has no kids. I think that is a big accomplishment in the times that we live in today, when you are a certain age, 21, 25, 30, and with no kids. I think that's a big accomplishment in itself. Let me tell you why.
And she's gonna tell you why, but I'm gonna tell you statistically why. She doesn't understand how much truth she's saying right now, and the statistics back it up. And I'm gonna show the black community something. I'm gonna let her cook.
Because the only thing you have to be concerned about is you in your life. When you get kids, it's not about you anymore. It's about your kids and all the decisions that you make surround your kids. So big ups to all the women that are 21, 16, 15, 35, 48, 50 with no kids. Because guess what? You beat the odds. Want me to tell you why? Regardless of what people saying about you living in a house with no cats, you did not put somebody in your world that you weren't ready for. That's right, I said it. Ain't nobody else gonna say it. You did not involve somebody in your world that when you don't like the daddy, you mad at the child. Or when you don't like the daddy, you mistreat the child. Or you neglect your child because you put your child on the back burner and put you first.
All right, so, and this is the only thing that I pushed back with is her reasoning for why these women have kids. She went straight to a negative, and that may not be the case. All the women who didn't have kids, it wasn't, anything negative behind it. Maybe they just wanted to, focus on work. Maybe they just wanted to, do other things, travel the world before they decided to, have a child. So yeah, it's not always a Pookie and Ray Ray situation where you protected yourself from choosing wrong, because essentially that's what she's saying. And I kind of got that, even though her message is overall positive, she may have chose wrong, and she's basing that off of her experience with her son at 16 years old, mind you. So, and again, she's taking accountability. It's nothing against her, but I just want to make that clear with black women. When you guys discuss these conversations, make sure that you leave some room for the positives instead of going directly to the negatives.
Yeah. So big ups to all those women out there with no kids, and even all the men out there with no kids. Because I tell my son all the time, because he ain't where I think he need to be in life. But I say, I tell you one thing about you, I respect, son. You didn't mess nobody else's life up by putting a kid, bringing a child into this world that they would have to take care of by themselves. So
you see, now again, see, that's the other thing. And I hate to keep stopping it, but I always have to correct the Black community in the wording and the verbiage that they use when it comes to Black men and fatherhood. Like she said, if her son would have had a kid, she automatically put it in her head that he wasn't going to take care of the kids. When we all know that Black men are the most involved fathers. White men have said it. Go watch Josh Lev's report that he did at, I forgot what school it was. He made a whole book about it, pointing out Black men. And then we just had the updated version on Bowling Green State University that was saying that Black men are in their children's lives over 2/3. So yes, so for her to say that, yeah, you know, you had a kid with a woman, which would have been a mistake if you had it at a wedlock, but just to say that, you know, you would have left her to raise a kid on his own, that's crazy. Okay, because Black men are the most involved, and we got to keep pushing this narrative so we can get rid of this old trope that we have a lot of Black women still using. And that's why I'm here.
I salute all those women out there that's on these videos, and I hope y'all dance y'all butt off to be a certain age with no kids. Because guess what? All you got to worry about is you. And guess what? You ain't mistreating no kids. And guess what? You still got time. You still got time. So I'm proud of all of y'all. I ain't no hater. Y'all the champions. Y'all the VIPs.
Okay, and like I said, her overall message was spot on, but it was just a couple of things in there, especially for this Black male-centric space, I have to always correct, okay? So yeah, so she probably didn't understand this. When she watches this video, she'll be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that I was doing that, hopefully, and she'll take some accountability and change her wording up. Black women birth 69.3% of their kids out of wedlock, okay? And the majority of those kids are fathered by Black men. And we know that Black men are the most involved, to the tune of 2/3 are either living with the kid or, you know, splitting time with the kid and being heavily involved active fathers. So yeah, so like I said, the statistics part, the Black community needs a little bit of work on. If they cared more, then they would do the research for themselves. But that's why I'm here to push this narrative, you know, further and closer to them so they can see it for real time and then do the research on their own if they so choose. If not, you guys will have it. And that's where we're going to go right now. National Health Statistics reports fertility of men and women aged 15 to 49. So from this report, this is what the Black community looks like in regards to how many children Black men and women have and the age at their first child's birth or father. Okay? So starting with Black women, if you guys could see that, I put them side by side at the top here. So Black women with no children, 39%. Black men, no children, 54%. Make sure you remember that. We've heard that before. Black women with one child, 17.1%. Black men, 16.5%, which means Black women lead in that particular one child category. Black women with two children, 21.4%. Black men with two children, 15.2%, meaning that Black women lead in that category as well. 3 children, Black women, 12.9%. 3 children, Black men, 7.2%. Again, 4 or more children for Black women, 9.5%. 4 or more children for Black men is at 7.1%. Now that's one of the most important ones, because I wanted to stop there, because society does a great job of parading these Black men who have 37 kids by 17, 20 different women, put them on talk shows. Oprah will talk to them. Sally Jesse Raphael, who else? Iyanla Vanzant had them dudes up there. Stand up. How many kids you got?
Nathaniel, stand up. How many children?
28.
How many women?
16.
Terrence.
4
4
children
with?
2 different women.
Yeah. Ryan.
Almost 5 children with 4.
Almost 5.
Yes,
now talk to me about an almost 5.
I have another baby due November 22nd.
So 4 children.
4 children.
How many mothers?
4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes.
And you got a baby on the way. Okay. And John?
6 baby mothers, 11 children.
11 children. And Jumani?
I have 6 children with 4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes, ma'am.
Now here's what I want us to get. That these men collectively have 87 children, that includes Jay, with 50 different women. That is 137 people who are impacted by choices and decisions that you've made. No heat, no judgment.
But the funny thing is, they always highlight the guys, which is 3 guys, but then there's like damn near 50 women that they've had those children with. So where's their accountability there? And also coupled with these statistics, if I'm telling you that black women have 4 more children at a higher rate than black men, then what does that tell you? Black women need to be in that spotlight, and the narrative needs to be changed. Instead of parading those 3 or 4 one-offs of black men that come up there and say that they got 33 kids by however many women. That's called accountability, black community. Now, this is the most important in regards to the 21 with no kids challenge. Black women at age of their first child's birth, under 20 years old, okay? 42.2%. Again, under 20, 42.2%, okay? Black men under the age of 20, 14.1%. Now, let me bring myself back up here. What did y'all just learn from me saying that? I just literally told you that under 20 years old, 42.2% of black women have their kids, and only 14.1% of black men father children within that age group. What does that substantiate? The narrative that black women are having sex with the same men. Because I know the black community thinks that it's a 1-to-1 ratio. No, that's not how this works. Okay? Jesus. Now, for 20 to 24 for black women, 34.9%. For black men, 20 to 24, which it is 38%, which is black men's high. That is their highest in the age groups. 25 to 29, 12.3% for black women. Black men, 25 to 29, 22.5%. Black women, 30 to 49, 10.5%. Black men, 30 to 49, 25.4%. You learn that black men tend to have their children at later ages. Okay? So that's why you have that difference in regards to, hey, black men, they tend to wait a little bit before they have kids. Now, granted, that 38% is higher than any other male racial demographic, but it's not as high as black women's high at under 20, 42.2%. So this is how we change the narratives and level set the conversation. So yes, black men tend to wait a little bit longer to have their first child than black women. 24 and under, between 2015 to 2019, 77.1% of the children that black women had were birthed before they turned 25. And then black men, 52, and again, as opposed to black women, 77.1% of their children were born before 24 and under. The key takeaways: the majority of black women have their first child at ages 21 and under, 56.16%. The majority of black men have fathered their first child at ages 24 and under, 52.1%. The highest percentage of children are born to black women at ages 20 and under, 42.2%. The highest percentage of children are fathered by black men at ages 20 to 24, 38%. Approximately 56.16% of the children that black women birth were born by the age of 21 and under. Approximately 29.3% of the children that black men have fathered were born by age 21 and under. Black women lead in all categories of having 1 to 4 or more children than black men. Black women have mothered more children, 61%, than black men have fathered, 46%. Black men have fathered less children than black women have mothered, 54% to 39%. And then both black men and black women are likely to have a child prior to their first marriage. Black men age 33, black women 32. Black women are more likely to have 2 or more children prior to their first marriage. And where I got that statistics from is Statista. And this is from 2021, estimated median age of Americans at their first wedding in the United States from 2021. And right here you can see black men and women, black men age 33, black women age 32. So like I said, both black men and black women tend to have children on average when they have their first marriage, first wedding, okay? And it's damn near the same for all of the races, I think, outside of Asians. But yeah, so that's how you get that. And then also, if there's anybody that's questioning the 2015 to 2019 statistics, by all means, do the research for yourself and start at 2006. They have the reports for everything. So if you guys were ever curious about the stuff that I'm presenting to you, please make sure you do the research for yourself if you don't believe me. Okay? So we use 2015, 2019. You can see the same reports, just a little bit different numbers, but damn near the same for 2006 to 2010, 2011, 2015, and then 2015 to 2019. Very easy. And where I got all that information from were these graphs here. They're in the same report as that 2015 to 2019. Number of children born alive to women aged 15 to 49. And then they have it for men who have fathered children within that same category. And then you can see the age for their first births for both men and women. Okay? So I just wanted to make sure that I'm very clear so you guys won't be asking questions in the comment section. Where'd you get your statistics from? And I think I do this more than anybody in these spaces. Do y'all know that y'all can screenshot stuff? So if I put up a statistic and you're watching the video and you didn't happen to check the description to see the link, you can always screenshot it. And then on Apple, on the iPhone now, you can, run your finger over and you can copy it from a picture and just put it directly into your Google search and you will find the exact information that I'm presenting to you. So again, don't believe me. If you still think that black men are the issue when it comes to the fertility rates, you are sadly mistaken, for one. And also you need to do the research for yourself. Okay? And there's other things that you could put in there in regards to, the trend analysis that I did from this report. I was actually being kind when I separated by the 5 years, when I did the division, because let me show you what I could have did. And this is a little bit of statistical education for you guys. Sometimes you have to go by trends. So the trend analysis, when black women have children, it's declining as they get older. However, they have most of their children when they're young. So essentially, I could have put a higher percentage for age 20 and 21 because it steadily declines, once they get older. But I'm pretty sure it's actually more than 1/5 of that 34.9%. But I wanted to be fair, so I just divided it evenly between the 5 years. So like I said, I don't want to shortchange black women in regards to their percentages of how many children they have between or 21 and under. So I was fair, even though the trend analysis would tell me that it's supposed to be heavier for 20 and 21 when they're younger. But I didn't do that. Just being fair. See, I am kind. What the 300? I am kind. Xerxes.
For I am kind. Embrace me as your king and as your god.
I know y'all like this dude corny. That explains why it's so much of a flex to not have kids by the age of 21 in the black community, especially for black women. Since we know that the majority of, the children that black women have are 21, they have them 21 and under. That's crazy, right? So a small video on TikTok led us to understanding the statistics of fertility in the black community. That's crazy, right?